The future is now.
Yes, definitely. I mean, defense definitely set the tone early with the takeaways, and I think clearly when you talk about the fundamentals, stressing the fundamentals, and we know where we are as far as the turnover differential going into the game, and when you see the takeaways are done on second reaction, second effort type plays, and that's how they usually come. They come in bunches, so that was huge for us. +3. Winning the turnover battle was clearly a big part of our victory today, but I think on a number of fronts it was a very gratifying victory because of just the number of things that went on during the game on the sidelines, particularly on defense. I mean, defense stepped up time and time again, not only with the 3 takeaways, but with the big 4th down stop. And we had a number of guys going in and out of the game, particularly with our secondary. I thought our young corners battled, went in and out, and I thought our veteran players handled the transition of that those situations, and so very gratifying win for us.
Like, how gratifying was it for Andy, you think, to win this one?
Oh, definitely. No, I mean, this is definitely special for him, and make no bones about it. He wanted to win this game, and more importantly, everybody in this locker room wanted to win it for him. And we presented him the game ball afterwards, and if you could just see in the locker room, just the reaction of when he came into the locker room after the game, I think it speaks volumes about the men in the locker room, and what this win means for us as a team because of where we are in our season, but how important it was to get that win today for Andy.
Mike, how important was it too? You were talking about effort earlier this week in that Baltimore game. They seemed to come out and take that personally, if you will, and played with a lot of effort this evening. Was that something you wanted and needed to see?
Well, I mean, frankly, we answered those questions about the Baltimore game, and frankly, my emphasis, which is really kind of falls into where you are in every season. There's always fundamentals. There's always things you want to emphasize, and we just really emphasize the finish of every play. Particularly in the run defense, because we knew with with our corners and the respect that we had for their perimeter. We were going to maybe be playing light sometimes in the box, and I thought our defensive front, answered the bell there. Sometimes you give up a little more, in the run you would like, but I thought our guys did a heck of a job. So, the finish, I think you see it in all three phases. You can see it in the return game, especially the finishing on the blocks, and with Tony, and what a great return he had, and the run offense. And so, that was really our emphasis. And I think it's like any good football team. You learn from the mistakes, and you focus on some aspect of the fundamentals. You need to improve on it, and that's no different. And so we'll have a chance to really finally get into a normal 7-day week, which we haven't had in quite some time. So we took a step today as a football team. So it was obviously a very fun locker room, and definitely a win that we needed.
Can you elaborate on what you were doing back in the secondary? Because there were times when Savion was out and I think Rashard was out. You had to bring guys, Deontay and different guys back there that played a lot.
What a great job by those guys. The young secondary, and I think you got to give it, some credit to Xavier and Jay Lou, and just the way to manage those guys coming in and out of the game, and the calls and the communication, and just really for Savion to come back, and those guys just kept fighting. Like I said, it was great to see young players get an opportunity, but the most important thing is what they do with that opportunity, and those guys battled, and I'm anxious to look at the video, see how they did.
How big was DeMarcus setting the tone there with that forced fumble at the start of the ball game?
Oh, definitely. He's an impact player, and your big time players, make those kind of plays that can send the game in a different direction. So, I thought D-Law was excellent. He always is with his tempo, but like I said, in the earlier question, we were a little light in the box at times against the run. So I really liked the way our defensive front, kind of held it together and gave us a chance to play a little more coverage in the back end. Are they still here?
Mike, back on DeMarcus, obviously he's a guy who has a pass rusher that, you're supposed to get back to sack and do all those things, but is that play that he did there, is that kind of proof of the second effort, the I forgot what you call it, the second phase effort, second reaction effort? Is that kind of what you want to see from everybody, but really a leader to get everybody to follow?
Oh, definitely. That's your play style. That's the play style that we're working to, attain on every single play. And I think it's like anything, you see that in the progression of a football team coming together. It's a constant. It's treated as a fundamental, no different than how you handle the football. So, yeah, it's infectious, and we need to build off of what we way we played today, the energy we played, particularly in the finish.
Mike, you talked about the turnover ratio. This was the first game since week 1 that the offense didn't turn the ball over. How key was that, and is there anything you point to specific about what helped their ball security today?
It's huge. It's number one priority. If it's the turnover differential, you look at the history of the National Football League, it equates to success. So, +3 was probably clearly the most important, statistic, on the stat sheet. And you can see clearly, especially having 3 turnovers in the first half, because we haven't played with the lead, and it just gave our guys a chance to play a little differently. You get to play run and pass mix on offense, and playing catch up, and then you got to see our pass rush at the end of the game. So, these are the kind of games you want to play in, and that's why we spend so much time in those team fundamentals on taking care of the football and taking away. And it was great to see our ROI come into play today.
Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's get this thing going one way or another. All right, a win is a win is a win, Cowboy Nation. You guys can see I got the victory jacket on, and it's one of those things where we still have to sit back and say to ourselves, okay, cool, we won, and we got to look at it like this. I see a lot of people that say, hey, we should have lost, right? I see a lot of people saying that, hey, this team is trash, right? I see a lot of people that will say that, we can't win it anyway without the quarterback. So I see all of those things. And I heard somebody say that what good if it makes because the Eagles won. And shout out to Jalen Hurts. And also they said that the Washington team won. And we can clearly see that the Washington team is the most complete team, collectively speaking, in the NFC East. It's one of those things where we can look at it and say, yeah, that coach over there, he established a defense. Now, Chase is a bad mamma jamma. Number 99 for your mind is a bad mamma jamma over there. I think that we're going to have to look out for him for many of years, right? Flying out to the ball, picking and scooping up fumbles and running it all the way in for the touchdown and the score. And they play with a hunger mentality on the defensive side of the ball because y'all know I love defense. I think that their offense is still porous, right? Shout out to you, Sonny. Shout out to you, Akeem. Shout out to you, Spams. Shout out to you, Graza. Appreciate you, Mobile. Appreciate you, everybody that's tuning in. So we can look at this year and we can lean on, let me say this again, we can lean on the mulligan aspect of it and sprinkle everywhere. Just sprinkle me, baby. Just sprinkle me. We can talk about the excuses. That's what I want to say. We can talk about the excuses because when you start to look for it, everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, Tupac, and Biggie, Ashaniqua, Tamika, and Kamika can all look back and say, yeah, that's what happened this year. We had a bevy of injuries, and we're playing for draft picks now. And it don't matter. It does not matter how many times I put out the actual facts that there's no team. There's no team in the last 15 years won the Super Bowl by tanking. There's no team. And I can pull up facts. I can pull up artifacts. You know the craziest thing? I can tell people how to make thousands of dollars. And I can just put out the whole philosophy, the formula. And there will be thousands and thousands of people that will never listen. They would say this, no, my way is the right way. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around. There's a lot of people, no matter how much you tell them, you're going to go in one ear, they're going to rattle around in their head, and they'll go out the other. Culture is everything. Let me repeat, culture is everything. Let me repeat, building and stacking things on top of each other is everything. Plan through and understanding that, hey, I'm trying to win, I'm trying to establish something is everything. But there's going to be the same people who live and build their houses right under the excuse bridge and say, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. My way is the right way. It is what it is. Shout out to you, nerd. That's a horror nerd. That's his name. Mobile, what's good with you, man? Thank you for tuning in. He says, Law, where do you get their twirling cowboy helmet from? It's spinning around. It's spinning. It's spinning. My thing is, you can go to Amazon, and this is not a sponsor, helmet or what have you, but you can go to Amazon, type in elevations of helmets or what have you, and maybe I'll post a link down below. Doctor, what's good, Mr. DC Fit, my Cowboys? Hey, we won. Now, I did a video and I pointed out the guy that I had spotlighted, and that was Tony Parker. Oh, I'm sorry, Tony Pollard. Excuse my mind. I'm thinking of somebody else. But Tony Pollard, TP, he was able to galvanize the team. Shout out to you. Who says this? Shout out to you, Ja. Appreciate you, man. He was able to galvanize the troops over there as it relates to kickoff return. We needed that. The last time we had somebody to do that on a consistent basis, who was it Harris kid? I can't throw Tavion out there because he just didn't really do it on a consistent basis. What's his name? Was it Dwayne or Dewan? Dwayne Harris? I think it's one of those things. Chris Blunt says, hooray, we won, we won, we won. We shot the BB gun. Let me get this. Yeah, baby, we won. Come on, baby, get down with it, you know. Oh, my goodness. The Bengals. I don't want people to think that professional team was sitting out there trying to lose a game. I don't want people to think that the Bengals are out here looking at it like, okay, let's see how we can exhibit and exude the worst tape possible to get the number 1 draft pick or close, dare I say, of a Sewell. I don't think that professionals are going to look at this particular game and landscape and say, I'm going to put out bad stuff on resumes so that I can get a job in the future to appease a certain coach. I don't think that the coaching staff would want that on their record. I don't think that particular team is a situation where they juggernauts. I don't think they are. I think that it's a combination of horrible guys that's out there on the field. Maybe the coach can say, okay, we're going to run a certain player out there, and he's not up to the level to play on a, I guess you can say, quote unquote, pro football level. Nevertheless, I look at it, a win is a win is a win. Just as bad as the Bengals are, I guarantee you, name me somebody on that team that you would be like, nah, I don't want him. And I'm talking about Jesse Bates. You ain't going to be looking at Jesse Bates and say, he's trash. Oh, Lord, he's terrible. You know, Ernesto, appreciate you. Let me know who you really would slap in the face to take the punch in the chest to get a Jesse Bates on our team. Who would like to have him on our team, right? So you gotta look at the draft in that fashion. Just because you got a safety that's performing well doesn't mean that it's going to translate, or just because you get good draft picks or just because you get players that can play does not translate into wins, does not translate into W's. Just because they got Joe Burrows last year or this year does not mean that they was going to go to the Super Bowl. They had a dynamic running back. They had the John Ross kid who was blazing fast. Remember him? He's supposed to have the Tyreek-esque speed, right? Boyd, he can catch everything that's thrown his way. I'm talking about the Bengals. Shout out to the Bengals, right? But what I'm saying is that even if they get a first-round draft pick way high, maybe they get the second-round draft pick overall, doesn't mean they're going to win anything. They've been doing this same philosophy for over and over and over again. Rearranging the furniture on the Titanic, right? The Jets, rearranging, same situation. 1A, 1B. Oh, the Cowboys. The pot calling the kettle black, right? We've been doing similarities in the same breath, but we are being on the forefront of being right in the middle, right above just being in the middle. Because I believe that, yes, the draft is a wonderful tool. It will always sell you a level of optimism. You undefeated. You got all the chance and possibilities to look at this thing and say to yourself, okay, we have an opportunity. Draft picks, you got to compliment them, regardless of how you look at it. Josh Allen is tough. Yeah. Josh Allen, was it Josh Allen? Yeah. For the Bills. I saw that game. That's where I was up. I was sitting there looking at the game. I was sitting there like, man, what stood out? What stood out? Oh, Diggs. Was he homegrown there? No. It's the similarity of us going out there getting Amari Cooper. That's the supplement. That's the complement, actually, you know. Beasley, he caught some difficult balls or what have you. He was there too. But what stood out more on the Bills wasn't the offense. It was the defense, by the way. That defense, when I start to see them making adjustments, flying out to the ball, sticking the doggone receivers. The receiver said, you know what? I ain't finna catch this again. It's rainy, it's cold. And I'm talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers receivers at that. Defense stood out. They harassed Big Ben Roethlisberger like he used to do those girls in the bathroom. They harassed him. That joker was limping for his life. Defense. Yeah, defense. Oh, that cornerback from the same school Xavier Woods. No. I'm sorry, not Xavier Woods. A cornerback from LSU. I meant to say. What's his name? Tre'Davious. What's his last name? Tre'Davious was right. Oh, he was everywhere, baby. Oh, he was everywhere. But we can skip back over to our side of the coin, the Eagles. There goes to show you that it doesn't matter when you get hot as long as you do. It doesn't matter when you get hot as long as you do. Towards the latter part of the year, that's when you want to get hot. That Jalen Hurts, that dog, he a dog out there, ain't he? He taking what the field can. He taking what he can get. Pass when he throw the ball, it explodes out of his hands. Miles Sanders taking advantages of the situation, and they just not saying, okay, we're going to put the ball in the belly of just him. But what stood out more so than Jalen Hurts was the defense. I hate to give the Sheagles any love and adulations. Defense was crazy, wasn't it? They harassed that number 7. He looked like a generic version of Jalen Hurts. He was running for his natural life, and number 13 was sitting there like, "Hey, dog, just throw it to me." And then he didn't start to do it until the latter part of the game, like when it was too late. You know what the song said? It's too late to apologize. It was just too late. Saints kicker, yeah, you know, in the Saints kicker, he missed that opening situation. But I will say this, though, Cowboy Nation. We have to address the defense. Let me repeat. We have to address the defense. Can I say it again? We have to address the defense. This game, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Bengals, I mean, at some points, you would look at Allen and be like, yeah, I'm glad that he's the backup of the backups there, right? Yeah. Jamal Adams is a beast on the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. Did they win today? I think they did. They could have. I don't know for sure. David Bennett, he says the Cowboys beat a team and that tied the Philadelphia Chickens. Yeah. So my thing is, with this particular team, we still have to look at it like, okay, we won. We have the celebratory moment there. But now we have to look back and say, okay, now we face the 49ers, right? Who really, it looked like they was in a situation whereas they couldn't get anything going. But my thing is the way they craft their team as it relates to running the rock, we're going to have our hands full. This will be the biggest test of all times. And the person we have to watch and look out for is that number 11 kid. Is it Brandon Ayuk? I hope I'm saying that kid name right. That boy, whoo. We're going to have to be ready. Arik says Cowboys Super Bowl 2021. And then 2022. Newsflash, I've said the Cowboys going to win the Super Bowl every year. But I don't want people to lose their hope. I don't want people to lose their passion. I want people to be excited, look at the moment and say, okay, we won this game. But don't be going around with your head in between your legs. Don't be moping around talking about we lost out on draft picks. That would not save you. That's the bottom line. I should have put on the title. Draft picks will not save you. But what you do with whatever draft pick you get, you have to formulate a plan of action, a direct course of how you're going to really set the tone with your team and establish the philosophy. We still, this year, I know it's a mulligan, but we have not established anything. There's a play out there. Go to my Facebook page. One of my moms, they posted it. I mean, you got Jalen. All he's supposed to do is shed and disengage. This brother spins out of it, turn his back to the offense, like literally thinking that the running back is going to bounce to the outside. Where do you do that at? What coaching book is that from? You know, what page of the manual that you read that you're going to turn your back to the offense in that particular situation and spin out of it? And the running back was like, okay, ain't gonna let nobody, you know. I'm like, come on, Jalen. You the cornerstone, right? You know, they say the stone that the builders rejected becomes the centerpiece of the great design. You're supposed to be able to elevate everything. Everybody rejected you when you was injured. You're supposed to have that mindset and have football, what my dog Scott Walker would say, football intelligence, football IQ. Now, damn it, he looked good in the suit. Talking about Jalen. That brother looked good, and we talking about the business proposals. But we can't be just rolling this out for 2021. You play to win the game, as said by Herm Edwards. Yeah, everything about Herm Edwards is cool, outside of the fact that he played with the Eagles, I believe. So everything else, he's cool. Herm Edwards always had that sauce of good football stuff to put out there that can stick to the people. Appreciate everybody that's watching, man. I know this is an impromptu. I know it's late for where most people are at. But, dog it, I don't sleep, so I'm going to talk to you guys, right? Ray Bar Rebel says, release Zeke and that ridiculous contract and keep Pollard as the featured back. I disagree. I disagree. Fire Jerry as GM. I disagree. I can't stand Ezekiel Elliott for this year, but it's a combination of other things of the reason why. Nevertheless, I can look back at it and I can say, well, if I'm going to give Mike McCarthy a mulligan, I'm going to 86 more order and I'm going to give Ezekiel Elliott a mulligan. It's not his complete fault with everything. Ezekiel Elliott, speaking of Ezekiel Elliott, let me see if I can pull up his interview and maybe we can talk about Ezekiel Elijah Elliott. You know, let's see what he's talking about. Let's see if I can pull this up on the fly. You know, pull up his interview and see if we can get things going.
The turnover battle today, and the Cowboys win a big victory.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I barely can hear you. Say it again.
Let me know if y'all can hear Ezekiel.
What was it like coming out on the right side of the turnover battle? Instead of you guys having turnovers, you guys created a bunch of turnovers that came out on the right side of this game.
I mean, that's what happens when the defense goes out there and takes the ball away from their offense. I mean, they did a hell of a job. I think it was the first three drives they got turn or takeaways, and we were able to capitalize and get points off of them.
Was there any kind of message about Andy Dalton, any kind of emotions you may have had going back there to Cincinnati?
I mean, all Andy's.
They sound like they whispering to the dude. Can y'all hear the brother? Hey, man, Ezekiel, you know, what you feel about Andy Dalton? Let me know if y'all can hear Ezekiel Elijah Elliott. Let me know if y'all can hear him. And we'll play the rest of this interview.
He said to us was, this isn't about him. This isn't about him getting a win here. It's about this team getting a win, and it's going to take all of us to go win that football game. And I think we played great complementary football and did what we had to do to get the job done.
Yeah.
Definitely. We're not out of it, and this win definitely is gonna help. It's gonna help. We definitely built some momentum today, and we just gotta, keep this momentum going and do what we can to win the rest of the games this season.
Appreciate you, Stephen. Gibson.
What is the key to carrying that momentum, given that y'all have to string together 2 consecutive wins?
Just to do what we did today. Offense take care of the football. Defense go take it away, and I mean I think that's that. I think offensively, we gotta figure out how to get the run going a little bit more to keep those guys off the field. But I mean you can't get mad at the end of the day. I mean we won that football game, and those have been hard to come by this year. So I mean we're gonna go celebrate this and go get back to work.
Was it kind of refreshing getting back on the field so quickly, playing on Tuesday, and then turning right back around and playing again, being able to flush that last game?
I wouldn't say refreshing. Playing 2 football games in 5-6 days is not fun. But I mean, it did feel good to get back on the field and get back out there with the guys.
So with this game back in Cincinnati, you tell what this game meant to Andy?
You could tell what it meant to him, and you could just tell he was fired up all week. But like I said earlier, he said it wasn't about him; it's about us. It's about us going and figure out how to win a football game, and that's what we did.
All right. So they just going back and forth. They're not asking real difficult questions, but shout out to whoever interviewed Ezekiel Elliott during the post game there. And of course, it's a win, and he said he's going to celebrate it. So as a football professional player, you would want him to celebrate to relax his mind a little bit and get ready for the next game. Now, if they still talking about celebratory and celebrating the game by mid-Monday or Tuesday, then I'll say, hush, don't talk about this game no more now. The game is over. It's over with, bro. Y'all won. You get your cookie. Now let's go focus on how we can better our best for the next week. How can we get Connor Williams to not false start, and how we can give them to not get picked up and body slammed in the middle of the field as well, especially against the next opponent. So we can definitely look back at this thing. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Let me know how you guys feel about Ezekiel Elliott. And when I say I'm kind of like upset and I'm like disappointed, I'm not talking about Ezekiel Elliott the person. Let's not make this personal. Let's not make this a law that don't like a certain player personally. No, I'm talking about on the field as it relates to fumbling the ball, as it relates to turnovers and things like that. And those are the things that I like coaches say, we don't coach fumbles, right? So from a guy that is trying to position himself as relates to the information for the team, I'm only talking about in those realms, not personally. I don't think that anybody in the chat should hate Ezekiel Elliott personally or dislike Ezekiel Elliott from a personal standpoint. This is at the end of the day, we talked about a football game. It's a game. It's a game. It's not something that we should look at it personally. And especially with Jalen Smith, it's the exact same breath. It's not nothing that we would take shot at him personally. I've seen a lot of people that's on his Facebook page, and when he do his business deal or when he's promoting his bike, whatever, or his little Bowflex thing where he got the TV, and people take it personally. I said, man, come on, man. As Cowboys fan, We shouldn't do that. We should look at it like, dog, that's a good idea. It's a brilliant idea, man. That's generational wealth. And that's cool. But if it's something that's in pertaining football, then you can take a little jab at him, but don't take it personally. Same with Ezekiel. People go after his mom and his sisters personally. I'm like, dog, let them post in peace, basically. And the same with Antoine Woods. He posts a picture of his wife or his daughter, what have you, and people personally. I'm like, come on, Cowboy Nation. Let's not fall into the losing aspect so much that now we are going to take personal jabs at players, right? That's all I'm saying. It's bad enough that we're losing on the field, but it's a game. Don't take it personally. When you talk about a certain player's skill set and his ability to do and not to be able to do, you could talk about it if he's exhibiting a play. But if it's his personal account, don't take it personally. That's all I'm saying. Really appreciate everybody. If Zeke had 300 yards, he will have 1,100 yards rushing. This is from Tyrone Church. I agree. 1,000 yards rushing for the season is not that bad. Now he got what we got? What, 3 more games? And can he get 300 yards in 3 more games? I don't know. Now I want people to look at it like this. 165 yards. Zeke will have 1,000 yards this season. This is from Tyrone Church. 165. It used to be like we would feel like he would get that in one game, but it's a stretch. Now, maybe, just maybe, he can get it against the 49ers. Their defense got a lot of holes in it as it relates to for the defensive front. But the Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles, they're a stingy defense. And they got a good front four. So it'd be harder for him to get those running yards for stats right there. But I from a standpoint of liking running backs, if you want to get 1,000 yards, let it so be. That's why he said at the start of the game and before the game, it is important for me to play this game. Because what will happen here, collectively speaking, 3 years from now, people will look back at this game and they will only look at the stats. They won't look at the year that much, and because I don't think it will be an asterisk on this year. And they'll look back at it and say, "Man, this brother fell off this year. That brother, he didn't perform like he's supposed to." And the thing is, shout out to you, is it Jimenez? Appreciate you for making the donation to help elevate the nation on the PayPal. People would look back at it and say, well, dog, he only ran 900 yards or 800 yards, right? But my thing is, Cowboy Nation, yes, we had tons of injuries, but there's still some things that we have to iron out beyond the offensive side of the ball. The catastrophic injuries were on the offense, but there was none outside of Diggs on the defense. Outside of maybe you can talk about LVE. Let me see here. Maybe we can do a half wolf howl on that, because he have not been playing up to the level that we would like to see out of our first round draft pick, right? Zeke the Freak, this is from Martin. Appreciate you so much. Who else we have here? It is getting to, let's see, 43 minutes. I've been live. Let me do this right quick. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Give me a few seconds here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the phone lines, and I'm going to get your thoughts, get your opinions, whether, you want to say, okay, nah, Law, this is my points on this, or you will say, nah, Law, you're right on that. Let's open up the phone lines for a quick minute here. Let's get this thing going in that fashion. But while I do that, bear with me. Yeah. Don't leave the nation. Just pick up your phone for some conversation. Let's go. 520, you're live.
Hey, Law, this is Truckers Live. How you doing?
Oh, man, everything is great, man. Really appreciate you so much for tuning in. Give me a few seconds here. Let me do this. Bam. All right, let me start you up a new timer. How you been feeling, though?
Man, I've been kind of depressed this season with the Cowboys, man.
Well, it's just how it goes, man. When we're in the losing phase, we in the losing cycle, everything feels like it's off kilter, you know. But we just have to continue to figure out how to find those small victories and marry those up.
Exactly. But my thing is what I've been trying to tell Cowboy fans is our offensive line has been diminished, to the least.
Right.
We need to sit back, chill, take it easy, understand that this is that kind of season for us, and understand that we're going to come back. We ain't done. It ain't over. This is not the last NFL season of forever.
Right.
So why not just understand we're going to have a good draft season this year. We're going to have a good draft pick,
Right.
And, hey, we're going to come back. We're going to come back. And for all these Cowboy fans that say Dak is done, they need to just switch teams because Dak ain't over. Dak is about as clutch as you can get. Dak ain't done nothing to us. Dak has done nothing but prove he's worth it. My thing is,
you're right on it. You're right on it.
Jerry Jones needs to swallow his pride and understand he's got a black quarterback that is worth the money. Because I guarantee if Romo would have done half of what Dak would have done, or what Dak's done so far, because you think about it, Dak has gotten 2 Pro Bowls in 4 years.
Right.
If Dak would not have gotten injured this year, he was on a roll of being an NFL MVP. So let's just sit back and accept what we got. This year was a fucked up year. Oh, sorry, excuse my language.
You're good.
This year was a fucked up year. We got injuries to all of our Pro Bowl players this year. All of them. On the offensive line is what I'm saying. Our defensive line is garbage. And that's what's making our linebackers look like crap. Because to me, I'm gonna be real. I think Jalen Smith is a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. I really appreciate you for calling in, Truckers Life. I mean, you've been rolling with me for a long time today, man. What else you got, man?
Yeah, man. Hey, stay on my Facebook, man. Just know, man, I'm gonna post everything I cook on my Facebook. So,
oh yeah,
y'all got me.
Most certainly, man. Really appreciate you for calling in. Be safe out there, and thank you for calling in to the show, bro. Good call from the 520. Good call from the 520. I mean, it's a. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. It's a situation whereas I'm not gonna say that race plays a role in it, but I can feel where he coming from. And I'm not going to just say that is the only issue why Jerry didn't pay Dak Prescott. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to put that out there. But I can feel where he's coming from. He sounds like he's from the old school. And, I recall the days of Doug Williams days and how he was such a polarizing type of quarterback, and nobody gave him a chance. But let me pull up the 202 and see what he have thoughts on. 202, you're live.
What's up, Law? This is Chris, man.
It's good, Chris.
What's going on with you?
Not much, man.
I'm
Turn
gonna
your
say,
radio down. Turn your radio down. You hearing some echoes on my end, but go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I know we got injuries and all that, but at some point, we as fans gotta stop accepting these injuries and all these excuses that they give out. Oh, we didn't achieve nothing because of we don't got this or this person went down, this person went down. All this time that we should have been prepping for if somebody goes down. Say if I'm your backup and we have a coach, the coach should be paid. Oh well, if Law go down, Chris is his backup. If Chris go down, Law is his backup. And then comes have it because here comes more excuses. COVID. We ain't get this because it's COVID. But the sad thing is, it's like that's another excuse that the Cowboys use or organization will use to, look, I blame COVID or blame the injuries for why we didn't achieve nothing this season. The excuses is getting kind of out of hand because every season they fail or don't achieve anything is an excuse.
Yeah, it is. What is your profession? I'm gonna pause your time. What is your profession? What do you do?
I'm a bathroom manager at Walmart.
You're bathroom manager at Walmart. So did you go to high school, college, or did you get your GED, or would you went to
high school? I went to high school and college.
You went to high school and college, so you got your degree in what?
Business management.
So you got your degree in business management. How old are you?
I am 32.
You're 32 years old. So are you the first generation to go to college or the third or fifth?
First.
First generation. Are you a brother?
Yeah, I got two sisters.
I mean, I'm talking about, are you a brother? Like you black like me?
Yeah.
I had to say, are you a brother? So, I mean, my thing is I'm the first, I'm the second generation to go to college. My mom was the first, right? So she came up with the philosophy where as I got mines, I want you guys to get yours, right? So let's not look for handouts. Let's not look out for government assistance. Let's figure this out because I did. She always say her mom picked cotton all day. And this is a real talk, for like 10 cents or so. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, she could have looked at it like, hey, this is what we left with. This is what we got. This is what you should get,
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't look for excuses. When you start looking for excuses, it will find you. It will knock on your door, and it will tell you it's impossible for you to be a manager. It's impossible for you to make close to six figures or beyond. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible because the world will put a cap on you, but there's no cap to the situation. When the Giants were 1-7, although they lost today, they were saying it is impossible for them to even think about playoff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want Cowboy fans to realize, that there's nothing impossible, but when you have somebody that's putting excuses out there, and one thing that was very appalling to me was when Mike McCarthy said, hey, it's on me because of the fact that, these guys didn't have continuity. So you had a year off. You had all of that time, and you didn't pick your right personnel. I digress, but go ahead.
I feel as though even with Mike McCarthy, if we won, we beat the Bengals. Okay, hooray, we beat the Bengals. But the way that they played against the Bengals, why they didn't play like that all season long? That same defense that showed up against the Bengals, where was they at? The same way Andy Dalton was playing against the Bengals, throwing passes, where was he at this time? It's the sad part is they play like this, and basically the season is over, and y'all play like this. Y'all should have been playing like this from the beginning. Now it seems like, look, the coach now, that's like another excuse for Jerry to keep Mike Nolan, because like he's like, look, they showed up against the Bengals. Y'all can't get too mad. Look, he showed up. But what about all the other games that we lost where the defense was nowhere to be found? What about all the other games that we done lost and went down and we tried and we lost? Now, I'm not going to say anything about that, but the previous caller said, we got to accept that we got a black quarterback that's this and that can do this. That Dak is a clutch quarterback at some points, but when it comes to, most people going to count, you might throw a lot of passes, but the most important thing in the NFL is winning losses. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. With the games that we had where Dak was in, we were still struggling. We were struggling either way. We were struggling to score touchdowns. We were struggling to stop the other team. So
no doubt, man. Really appreciate you for calling in, man. Yeah, defense again. Appreciate you, though. He got great points from the 202. Shout out to him about the Dak Prescott situation. We were struggling when he was there, and I'm not being disrespectful to anybody. You got 3 minutes when you call in, 3 whole minutes. So if you want to call back 682-214-4087. When I speak, I'm going to pause the timer so that you guys can still have those 3 minutes in some type of shape, form of universe, whatever. And I tell people all the time, time is only relative, right? It's late here, but it's early somewhere else. So my thing is, yes, he has some valid points about Dak Prescott. I think that Dak Prescott, he needed this year more so than any year. And even when we talk about last year from a stat aspect of it, not from the win category, he had unbelievable numbers then. And I will say that if you had 2019 Dak Prescott and you insert him in 2016, who knows? That quarterback is a whole lot different from each other. But we have the 804. You're live, 804. Give me a chance to pull up your audio. You're live, 804. Talk to me.
What's up, Law? This is Philip. I just want to say, I'm a 16-year-old. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan my whole life, and I just know how did it feel like, winning Super Bowls, again, talk that trash to your friends and everything, winning all those games,
Oh man, it feels good, man. It feels good when you're able to talk that noise, especially. You have not experienced talking noise in the conference championship game nor in the Super Bowl. It's a different feeling. But go ahead.
I also want to say, what is your opinions on like the draft? Like, who do you want to get in the draft? Also,
I'm only like the second round deep, close to that. Far as the defensive side of the ball, I love the kid from TCU. I do love the aspect of the safety from I want to say the Georgia safety. Samuels is Asante Samuels. He's one of the guys I'm really high on right now. There's so many obstacles that we'll have to wait before I get to that point of like who I really, really want. It's too soon. But I can tell you that my philosophy will be BPA. My philosophy will be also with our compensatory picks and as well as our 4th and 5th round draft pick, we're going to have to finagle that, move up to get who we really, really need in this draft.
All right. But I also want to say, like, because people don't realize that even though Zeke is not at his caliber anymore that he used to be, I just feel like they're not giving him enough carries, and he doesn't have that same O-line he used to have. That's all I'm going to say. Because I'm an Ohio State fan as well, and I've seen how Zeke played with a good O-line. He does pretty well.
Yeah, he's a guy that he's not a creator in a sense of a space creator, if I can use that, like a Saquon Barkley, even like a Tony Pollard. He's a different type of runner. And when he was in Ohio, since you're from that area, he was more of an explosive guy. He used to explode out of that thing. And that's when they used to have also the guy, what's his name, Jalen Smith's brother. They used to have him out there, right?
Yeah, Rob Smith. Yeah, I'm from Virginia, actually, but I'm an Ohio State fan.
Oh, you're an Ohio State fan as well?
Yeah.
You like that Dobbins kid, huh? We're gonna.
Yeah, he crazy, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a lot of situations. Even the kid that we had for a cup of coffee, what was it? He wore number 40 for us. What's his name? From Ohio, ran behind Ezekiel Elliott.
I'm trying to think.
My goodness.
Because I don't really.
Huh? No, he was over here last year.
Oh.
He didn't make the team though.
Mike Weber.
Weber, yeah. He had similar type of situation, but he was just smaller. But it is what it is. I'm gonna give you some more time, man. What else you got for the show?
Oh no, that's it. I just want to talk, just talk a little bit of football. But that's it. Thank you, Lord.
Appreciate you, fam. Thank you for calling in. Give me one chat. Good call from him, man. Good call from Ohio. Oh, I'm sorry. The Ohio State guy, right? Mike Weber. Appreciate you, Israel, man. Appreciate you so much for putting that out there. Can we get Law 100K? Hey, if somebody generous enough, man, give me 100K. I'm a capitalist. I'm not going to turn it down, right? I'll probably take it and reinvest it. But you talking about 100K subscribers, that too will work. I like the numbers there. But I think that the people that's watching now, y'all are more genuine, right? I can identify, I can recall some of your names. I saw Natasha in here earlier. I see my dog Paul over here, Chris Blunt. I like that, mom and pops feel, right? I think that sometimes when people get so big, they forget about people, right? Let me know if I'm wrong. Like sometimes they forget about people, but I always want to be like this, authentic. So when I bet you're gonna get there, right? But when I do blow it up big, baby, we'll be on one of those major networks, and I still say, hey man, y'all gotta figure out a way to put the stroller, on the stream, on the feed, so that when I talk about my Ray's Boom Boom Room, those will say, hey, Law, I was with you. I was with you when you first started, before you even grew your beard all the way. We got the 561. You're live.
What's happening, Law, man? Jake the Great, man.
The great one. Talk to me.
Not much, man. Just here in, like you said, it's early somewhere. It might be late in Texas, but it's early somewhere else, man. It's about 9 o'clock here in California. No, 10 o'clock here in California.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the game. I don't really know how to feel. I've been on Vox channel. He kind of convinced me to join Team Tank, even though I'm not. I'm win no matter what. And one thing from years of watching football, one thing I want a lot of people to know about, just because you have a top 5 pick, it doesn't really guarantee nothing. Because I'm 36. I've seen the Bengals make the playoffs maybe twice in like 20 years, maybe. Mm-hmm. And they always have the first or the top 5 pick, and they never did anything with it. Year after year after year, the Browns, the Jags, they're having these picks, and nothing comes out of it. So, I just want to, add on to what you're saying. We got to add on to the draft. Not only do we think that, we're going to find that one player is going to take us to the Super Bowl, but we got to add to him. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering, who do you think we should target in free agency?
Reconnecting, successful. We should be back on the horse right here. Let me know. I know I probably froze up on y'all, man. Let me know. I'm going to wait. Jake, let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me see what happened here. Let me know. Let me know if you guys can still hear me, all right? Holla if you hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know. I'm going to have to see if I can call back Jake. Yeah. I'm gonna let the room fill back up, man. I'm back, okay. And just a little snafu, that's what it is. Jake, I gotta wait for Jake to call back, man. Hopefully he can call me back. It's just one of those things where my system sometimes will go flunky. Maybe we was talking too bad about one of the football players there, and it kicks me out of this thing and it gets back online or what have you. But here's the thing. My dog, Vaj Lombardi, I think he's coming and he's speaking from a scout perspective, a draft guy perspective, because when he looking at tape, he's not looking at one individual side of the coin as it relates to the Dallas Cowboys. I think that he's looking at it more so from the forward perspective. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I really think that there's nothing wrong with objectivity and thinking outside of the box. But I got 205. He's calling back. Jake, just text me, man. Let me know when you call back, man, so we can get back on the conversation there. 205, you're live.
What's up, Lo?
Nothing to it, Unc. Let everybody know, man, what's on your mental, what's on your mind.
What's going on, man? Law, we did it today. We got a win, so I'm not complaining, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I want everybody, hey, say your prayers before you go to bed tonight, because you're here today and you're going tomorrow. So say your prayers before you do anything else. Say your prayers. Talk to the man upstairs, and you're going to be just fine. But let me just say this, because I know you got clock game. Let me tell you something, Law. This is more of a question I want to ask you. Law, name how many good drafts we had. Count how many good drafts we don't have.
From what time frame? From
we're gonna say from 2000 to now.
Their Ware draft situation was really good in my opinion. I think the year that we got Tyron Smith was pretty good. That's 2. Oh man, you put me in the hot seat. The 2016 draft was really decent. I want to say, believe it or not, even though Cheeto Woozier and Jordan Lewis and all those boys, I think that year was pretty good. And this year, I got to wait 3 years, but this year was pretty good as well.
Let me ask you this. Out of that amount of time, how many Super Bowls did it produce?
0.
So between me and you, we don't give a damn what Jerry Jones is putting out. What he putting out makes no difference.
Right.
Good draft was no good draft. But let me tell you something, because I know you got clock game, make it quick. You got a man. This is the story about Jerry Jones and compared to Jerry Jones. Here's a man, had a wife. This man worked hard. Why he worked hard? He lost his job. He lost it. And he tossed and turned one night, and Satan came to him in his sleep. He said, hey, you know who this is? He said, who is this? It's Satan. He said, what? He said, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. He said, you're Satan? Yeah, it's me. I heard you've been having a hard time. Can't find no job, and your wife always going away from home. Do you know where she at? Do you know what she's doing? He said, no. He said, I know you're in the jam, so what do you want to do? What do you want to do? He said, I sure wish I could work for a job where I could do something for my baby. He said, I tell you what, I got 3 wishes. And if you get these 3 wishes right, you can have anything you want, but you're going to have to play my game. What game is that? It's called 10-finger scissors. Okay, I don't understand it, but I'll play it because I'm desperate. Okay. 1 minute went by, he lost his finger. So he only had 9 fingers. All this man was in pain, and the blood was everywhere. Then 30 minutes later, he was down to 1 finger. He said, well, you're only down to 1 finger, and these 3 wishes are still there for you. And you can have anything you want. Are you sure you want to play? He said, I'll go ahead and play. I ain't got nothing to lose but this one last thing. And 10 minutes later, he lost that finger too. He said, oh, you know I was Satan when I came to you in your sleep, but yet still you want to play my game. You didn't win, but you have a nice life. So what I want you to do is now is put me in the right direction where I can go and steal another soul. Oh, I forgot. You ain't got no paper. Oh, man, 10 minutes later, here comes his wife in the kitchen. She seen him on the floor. She said, what happened to you? Satan took all my fingers. Took all my fingers. You mean like the other 9 guys I was with? So now you get what